This video gives you more examples on present tense and past tense. He always drinks cold water when he is hot. He always drinks cold water when he is hot. She eats bananas for breakfast. She eats bananas for breakfast. My sister dances like a professional dancer. My sister dances like a professional dancer. The baby falls when she tries to walk. The baby falls when she tries to walk. Our cat climbs the trees in our garden. Our cat climbs the trees in our garden. Mom walks to work every day. Mom walks to work every day. She always brushes her teeth at bedtime. She always brushes her teeth at bedtime. Dad polishes his shoes until they shine. Dad polishes his shoes until they shine. My brother watches television after school. My brother watches television after school. Piyush catches the ball with one hand. Piyush catches the ball with one hand. Mom mixes flour and water when she makes bread. Mom mixes flour and water when she makes bread. The bee buzzes around the flowers. The bee buzzes around the flowers. My friend Sanjay goes to the same school as I do. My friend Sanjay goes to the same school as I do. Observe these examples. Carry becomes carries. Carry, carries. Hurry, hurries. Hurry, hurries. Copy, copies. Copy, copies. Cry, cries. Cry, cries. Fly, flies. Fly, flies. Marry, marries. Marry, marries. Study, studies. Study, studies. Worry, worries. Worry, worries. Bully, bullies. Bully, bullies. A cat carries its kitten with its mouth. A cat carries its kitten with its mouth. Mr. Rahul hurries to work every morning. Mr. Rahul hurries to work every morning. The baby cries a lot at night. The baby cries a lot at night. This plane flies to the island every day. This plane flies to the island every day. Alice tries hard at school. Alice tries hard at school. She copies all the questions in her notebook. She copies all the questions in her notebook. See these verbs. Buy, buys. Buy, buys. Say, says. Say, says. Pray, prays. Pray, prays. Pay, pays. Pay, pays. Annoy, annoys. Annoy, annoys. Stay, stays. Stay, stays. Mom buys bread at the supermarket. Mom buys bread at the supermarket. Mr. Rahul pays all his bills with a credit card. Mr. Rahul pays all his bills with a credit card. My friend says that he has a cat at his home. My friend says that he has a cat at his home. She annoys me with her silly jokes. She annoys me with her silly jokes. Anna stays with her aunt on weekends. Anna stays with her aunt on weekends. My sisters listen to music a lot. My sisters listen to music a lot. My sisters is in plural, that is why we don't need to add s or es to the verb. That's why verb listen. My sisters listen to music a lot. My sisters listen to music a lot. The stars shine brightly on a clear night. The stars shine brightly on a clear night. Some people drink tea. Some people drink tea. I like pineapple juice. I like pineapple juice. We learn interesting things at school. We learn interesting things at school. You all know this song. You all know this song. They always walk home from school together. They always walk home from school together. Sentences with objects. They are called transitive verbs. John likes apples. John likes apples. Sam knows the answer to the question. Sam knows the answer to the question. My sister cooks all our meals. My sister cooks all our meals. My brother rides his bike in the street. My brother rides his bike in the street. Dad buys tea at the market. Dad buys tea at the market. Mom writes stories in her spare time. Mom writes stories in her spare time. Sentences without objects. They are called intransitive verbs. In China, lots of people walk to work. In China, lots of people walk to work. The boys play in the ground after school. The boys play in the ground after school. Mr. Rahul always drives very carefully. Mr. Rahul always drives very carefully. Ambani is a very successful businessman. Ambani is a very successful businessman. Priya and I both entered the race. She won but I lost. Priya and I both entered the race. She won but I lost. More examples on simple present. We always wash our hands before meals. We always wash our hands before meals. Naresh sometimes lends me his bike. Naresh sometimes lends me his bike. Dad jogs in the park every day. Dad jogs in the park every day. We often go to the movies on Saturday. We often go to the movies on Saturday. Mr. Pawan takes a train to work. Mr. Pawan takes a train to work. The sun rises every morning. The sun rises every morning. Penguins live in the Antarctica. Penguins live in the Antarctica. Dogs love playing in water. Dogs love playing in the water. Dogs love playing in water. The earth goes around the sun. The earth goes around the sun. Uses of am, is, are. Am, is, are. I am 12. I am 12. The children are asleep. The children are asleep. I am in the garden. I am in the garden. Computers are very expensive. Computers are very expensive. My mom is very tired today. My mom is very tired today. My brother and I are upstairs. My brother and I are upstairs. The teacher is tall. The teacher is tall. We are in our bedrooms. We are in our bedrooms. She is also pretty. She is also pretty. You are my best friend. You are my best friend. Our dog is black. Our dog is black. You and David are my best friends. You and David are my best friends. This is my sister. This is my sister. She is 5. She is 5. I am not very interested in sports. I am not very interested in sports. She is not my best friend. She is not my best friend. You are my best friend. You are my best friend. Cats are not as noisy as dogs. We are busy doing our homework. We are busy doing our homework. She is busy cleaning the car in the garage. She is busy cleaning the car in the garage. Our teacher is not very tall. Our teacher is not very tall. Present continuous or present progressive tense. I am learning how to swim. I am learning how to swim. I am eating my lunch. I am eating my lunch. I am eating my lunch. I am watching television. I am watching television. She is reading a book. She is reading a book. Dad is baking a cake. Dad is baking a cake. My sister is listening to music. My sister is listening to music. Uncle David is cleaning his car. Uncle David is cleaning his car. The dog is barking in the garden. The dog is barking in the garden. We are singing our favorite song. We are singing our favorite song. My brother and I are playing a computer game. My brother and I are playing a computer game. The teachers are showing us a film. The teachers are showing us a film. They are bringing a television set into the classroom. They are bringing a television set into the classroom. They are bringing a television set into the classroom. The simple past tense. I opened the door and looked inside. I opened the door and looked inside. The plane landed 10 minutes ago. The plane landed 10 minutes ago. My cousin visited us last summer. My cousin visited us last summer. We walked to school yesterday. We walked to school yesterday. She laughed when I told her the joke. She laughed when I told her the joke. Who closed all the windows? Who closed all the windows? We lived in that house when I was a baby. We lived in that house when I was a baby. She smiled when she saw me. She smiled when she saw me. We raced each other on our bikes. We raced each other on our bikes. I carried my mom's shopping bag. I carried my mom's shopping bag. My brother cried when he fell off his bike. My brother cried when he fell off his bike. We hurried to the station to catch the train. We hurried to the station to catch the train. Dad tried to help me with my homework. Dad tried to help me with my homework. I climbed over the fence and ripped my shirt. I climbed over the fence and ripped my shirt. The stranger grabbed my arm. The stranger grabbed my arm. The dog wagged its tail when it saw the biscuits. The dog wagged its tail when it saw the biscuits. He slammed the door and walked off angrily. He slammed the door and walked off angrily. The uses of was and were. 10 years ago, I was only a baby. 10 years ago, I was only a baby. When I was younger, I played with teddy bears. When I was younger, I played with teddy bears. My friend was ill yesterday. My friend was ill yesterday. Mom was angry when she saw the broken vase. Mom was angry when she saw the broken vase. It was very wet on Monday. It was very wet on Monday. It was 6 o'clock when we got home. It was 6 o'clock when we got home. We were away on vacation last month. We were away on vacation last month. John and I were in the garden. John and I were in the garden. Dinosaurs were prehistoric animals. Dinosaurs were prehistoric animals. Those were my best genes. Those were my best genes. The past progressive tense or past continuous tense. I was watching television. I was watching television. Naresh was finishing his homework. Naresh was finishing his homework. She was putting her books into her school bag. She was putting her books into her school bag. Ria and I were studying in the classroom. Ria and I were studying in the classroom. We were all dancing at the party. We were all dancing at the party. You weren't listening to the teacher. You weren't listening to the teacher. Some boys were looking out of the window. Some boys were looking out of the window. Vasudev was doing his math homework when the phone rang. Vasudev was doing his math homework when the phone rang. Dad was cooking our dinner when I got home. Dad was cooking our dinner when I got home. When I saw Joe, he was looking for his dog. When I saw Joe, he was looking for his dog. We were all enjoying the movie when the power went out. We were all enjoying the movie when the power went out. What were they doing when the bell rang? What were they doing when the bell rang? What were they doing when the bell rang? Have, has and had as main verbs. Have, has and had as main verbs. I have two brothers and one sister. I have two brothers and one sister. Monkeys have long tails. Monkeys have long tails. My sister and I have a swing in our garden. My sister and I have a swing in our garden. John has an elder brother. John has an elder brother. Priya has a pretty face. Priya has a pretty face. An elephant has a long trunk. An elephant has a long trunk. It also has big ears. It also has big ears. His brother has dark hair. His brother has dark hair. Our apartment has big windows. Our apartment has big windows. I had a big toy car when I was small. I had a big toy car when I was small. It was sunny, so we had lunch in the garden. It was sunny, so we had lunch in the garden. They had a wonderful holiday in Europe. They had a wonderful holiday in Europe. Sally and I had chicken for dinner. Sally and I had chicken for dinner. The boys had a fight in the playground. The boys had a fight in the playground. Dad had fever yesterday. Dad had fever yesterday. She had long hair when I saw her a year ago. She had long hair when I saw her a year ago. Our cat had 3 kittens last week. Our cat had 3 kittens last week. Present perfect tense. Present perfect tense. I have kept the letter you sent me. I have kept the letter you sent me. The police have caught the thieves. The police have caught the thieves. The children have made a birthday card for their mom. The children have made a birthday card for their mom. They have sold their car and now they have bought motorcycles. They have sold their car and now they have bought motorcycles. I am sorry I have broken your pencil. I am sorry I have broken your pencil. Jack has already done his homework. Jack has already done his homework. We have drawn a picture for you, Mom. We have drawn a picture for you, Mom. Have you drunk all your orange juice? Have you drunk all your orange juice? Someone has eaten all the chocolates. Someone has eaten all the chocolates. I have cut my finger and it is bleeding badly. Dad hasn't read my school report yet. Dad hasn't read my school report yet. Dad hasn't read my school report yet. Have you put any sugar in my tea? Have you put any sugar in my tea? Present perfect continuous. Present perfect continuous. I have been writing articles on different topics since morning. I have been writing articles on different topics since morning. He has been reading the book for 2 hours. He has been reading the book for 2 hours. They have been playing football for an hour. They have been playing football for an hour. She has been finding the dress since morning. She has been finding the dress since morning. He has been studying in the library for 3 hours. He has been studying in the library for 3 hours. We have been shopping at this mall for 2 hours. We have been shopping at this mall for 2 hours. We have been watching a movie for 2 hours. We have been watching a movie for 2 hours. You have been shopping in that market for 3 hours. You have been shopping in that market for 3 hours. I have been singing different kinds of songs. I have been singing different kinds of songs. I have been listening to melodious songs for an hour. I have been listening to melodious songs for an hour. He has been traveling around the world for a month. He has been traveling around the world for a month. They have been playing cricket in that field for 5 hours. They have been playing cricket in that field for 5 hours. The poet has been writing poems for several hours. The poet has been writing poems for several hours. The lyricist has been writing songs since the beginning of his career. The lyricist has been writing songs since the beginning of his career. Have you been listening to songs since morning? Have you been listening to songs since morning? I have not been watching the cricket match for an hour. I have not been watching the cricket match for an hour. Have you been preparing the assignment for 2 hours? Have you been preparing the assignment for 2 hours? I have been helping him to do the task for an hour. I have been helping him to do the task for an hour. My mom has been cooking for 3 hours. My mom has been cooking for 3 hours. I have been watching the concert for an hour. I have been watching the concert for an hour. Past perfect tense. Past perfect tense. I had been writing articles on varied topics for 3 hours. I had been writing articles on varied topics for 3 hours. He had been reading different kinds of books since morning. He had been reading different kinds of books since morning. They had been playing football in that field before it started to rain. They had been playing football in that field before it started to rain. Pawan had been studying in the library before he came to the class. Pawan had been studying in the library before he came to the class. We had been shopping in that shop before we came home. We had been shopping in that shop before we came home. We had been watching a movie for 3 hours. We had been watching a movie for 3 hours. I had been singing different kinds of songs for an hour. I had been singing different kinds of songs for an hour. I had been listening to nice songs for 2 hours. I had been listening to nice songs for 2 hours. Tom had been traveling around the world. Tom had been traveling around the world. They had been playing hockey on that field for 3 hours. They had been playing hockey on that field for 3 hours. The poet had been writing poems since morning. The poet had been writing poems since morning. The lyricist had been writing songs since the beginning of his career. The lyricist had been writing songs since the beginning of his career.